Dr. Betancourt provides a top-down approach to both behavioral and psychological, the behavioral and psychological study. The top-down approach takes a theory and applies it to the study population. He is very thorough in his definition of culture, race, and ethnicity, and ensuring that people don't interchange these, because oftentimes these are interchanged. So he defines culture as the designed way of life and the transmission of this way of life from one generation to the next. He defines race as the differences provided by genetics, or at the genetic level, and it's also defined as the variations between and within a group, stating that differences between large groups are oftentimes more closely there are less differences between large groups than there are within small groups. So, for instance, you would have more differences within a small population versus comparing two countries, you would have less differences between those two. And then he also defines ethnicity as a specific nation or tribe of people, which is the mode of transmission of a culture. And then these are all part of the social variables themselves. And social variables such as religiosity and social economic status are actually confounded variables, which are many times overlooked in studies. And the article actually talks about how when you adjust for these actually mask the fact of culture and race and ethnicity, and that these are actually found to be, in many cases, the causes of the differences and not culture or race or ethnicity. So in many cases, when people attribute differences to culture or race, it is actually these other confounded variables such as social economic status or religiosity. He gives examples of schizophrenia. So Hispanic cultures, they hear voices, they believe that it's a very religious aspect. Well, that is a religious thing. That is not so much a culture aspect as it is religious, because many people in that area are Catholic. So once you adjust for religiosity, it becomes a little more clear that it's not so much a culture difference, but a religious difference as well. Personally, I don't believe that there are differences between cultures on the broad scale, which was actually talked about in this article. It was kind of nice to have some backup on that. So I do feel that all cultures have the same foundational core as far as values, beliefs, and teachings go. The only difference is that at the surface level, the things that we see, how we perceive them anyways, is those have been shaped by their literal geography and their recent events, or their cumulative events, depending on how far back that specific culture or population goes and how good their records are how good they are at keeping records. That's really what defines their differences on the surface level. However, as a health professional, I do think that it's important to recognize that everyone is an individual and that they are an accumulation of their specific beliefs, values, and life events, including their culture. Thus, as a health professional, it is important to be highly sensitive and aware to these facts, as not doing this could be very alienating to those we're intending to interact with, which could actually cause harm when we're trying to actually provide help and comfort and healing. Thank you.